imagine how delusional you would have to be? How disconnected from reality you would have to be? How willingly ignorant to decades of history in this total and complete non-rivalry to sit there and think for some ever-loving fucking reason that Bears football would sit there and find a way to go into Lambeau Field and beat the fucking Packers today. Could you imagine? For the life of you. Could ya? I would hope not. It's the same old shit, different year. It just happens over and over and over and over again. Unbelievable. No, totally believable. I mean, where do you even go with today? Like, this has so many of those same vibes as the close of the 2020 season, if you remember. The Bears face some horrendously terrible offenses, and all of a sudden it's Matt Nagy, Mitchell Trubisky, and the Bears offense has figured it out. Then to close out the season, they face Green Bay, and they get mollywopped 35-16. Fast forward to the 2023 season, it's magically the defense has figured it out, even though they're playing against a bunch of bad offenses and or backup or third string quarterbacks during some of that phase. Bears fans just had to buy in, just had to fucking believe, including it sounds like the Bears organization, because yuck, gosh, defense is how you win championships in today's NFL. Let me hit some Go-Gurt, please. They go into today's game and they lose 17-9. And promise you, the final score is in no way indicative or an accurate measure of just how one-sided a matchup this fucking was. Everything about this is fucking stupid. When during the game, whoever the hell the sideline reporter was, I don't remember, was it Tracy Wilson? Who gives a shit? She's talking about, well, I spoke to Kevin Warren, and he was talking about the importance of culture and stability, and he likes the culture and the stability, values stability. You know what I fucking value? I fucking value winning football games, you dumb motherfucker! Including, God forbid, every once in a while, against the Cheeseheads from Brown Bay! I value culture, in stability, in continuity. Consistency, continuity, stability with losing coaches, losing players equals ding dong dung dicks, you guessed it, fucking losing. Perfect example of a team president that was hired to get a stadium deal done and not run a goddamn football operation. Because, of course, Bears football! And then we go to Ryan Poles, his masterclass of roster construction. Coming off of an offseason where he had the most cap space in the league, the top overall pick, he turned that into a season of 7 wins. Where the season before, they clearly tanked the second half of it. But yeah, you got Bears fans talking about this as positive. There's nothing fucking positive about this. The Colts just won 9 games and almost went to the playoffs. And they were supposed to be bad. And they didn't even have frickin' Anthony Richardson most of the season. The Houston Texans, we just watched them last night. They won 10 games this year. They were Jordan Akins' miraculous behavior away, miraculous catches away from having the worst record and top overall pick. And they come into this year with a rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback, and they go 10-7, and because the Jags choked today, they fucking won the AFC South, so now they're hosting a damn playoff game. The Buccaneers, with Todd Bowles as their head coach, with Baker Mayfield replacing Tom Brady, just had a winning record. They won the NFC South. They're going to have a home playoff game. And this dumb fuck sits there and overly prioritizes the defense. Spends a ton of premium picks on the defense. then sits there and goes makes the big trade for Montez Sweat. And when shit's on the line today, not for the playoffs, but in terms of you could keep the Packers from the playoffs. You could truly actually give yourself some type of positive momentum heading into the offseason and heading towards 2024. You can finally beat the fucking Packers for a change. Your defense comes out and lays a fucking egg. Lets Jordan Love do whatever the fuck he wants. 27-32 for 316 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 lost fumble. And that's the only reason this was even fucking close is because of the number of bad mistakes the Packers made in this game. The missed field goal. The not getting out of bounds at the end of the first half. Like, the fumble by Jordan Love. These bad mistakes. This shit wasn't even close. And in this spot, which for the Bears, honestly, was their fucking Super Bowl, let's face it, you've got a defensive-minded head coach with a general manager, because he's a fucking idiot, builds his defense up first, totally forgetting what the fucking assignment was supposed to be, which is a modern NFL approach. He came from Kansas City. He knows goddamn good and well it's about offense, offense, offense. This defense that he's invested so much in, you missed me with that. Well, Jalen Johnson was out. It wouldn't have made a fucking difference, you idiots. It's the goddamn Bears against the goddamn Packers. You're going to see a whole bunch of Bears football, and the fucking Packers get over 400 yards of total offense. Jordan Love over 300 yards passing. Aaron Jones over 100 yards rushing against the top rushing defense in the NFL. Fuck out of here. Like, how stupid is that even? Like, a cover 2 defense is supposed to be about coverage and getting after the quarterback, and the Bears can do neither one of those. So this idiotic general manager, this idiot, sits there and can't even construct the roster right based off of the defensive philosophy of the head coach he shouldn't have fucking hired. Dumbass. And then you got the coaches. Like, Matt Eberflus, what the fuck do you do? It's a lot different when you face competent quarterbacking, competent coaching, and an offense with some skill talent, huh? Like, you didn't even have Christian Watson, and it didn't even fucking matter. You couldn't figure out how to stop Aaron Jones. You couldn't figure out how to fucking cover Jaden Reed. You were letting Dontavian, Wicks and Bull Melton eat your ass alive. Like, what the hell? Halfway through the fourth quarter, it's like 4th and 5, whatever the hell it was, and you're punting. Go for it, you cocksucker. Fucking, oh, he's really good in his defense. He really figured it out. Like, this is the level of delusion you deal with Bears football fans. And then, of course, we get to the man himself. The hour of power. The tower of power, if you will. Too sweet to be sour. Courageous as all hell. Put him up. Put him up. I'm no gutsy. I'm the offensive coordinator. I got courage. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Biggest game of the season. It's our Super Bowl. We're going to run 25 times. And we're only going to throw 16. Our design runs are going to be dog shit. 1st and 10, halfback dive. 2nd and 10, halfback dive. 3rd and long. Anything that doesn't get the first down. Like, the Packers defense sucks. The approach to today's game was to sit there and have DJ Moore be targeted 6 times. 6! Cole Kmet targeted 4 times. But let's continue to run it into the fucking middle of the line of scrimmage. Halfback dive. Halfback dive. Oh. Meanwhile, Khalil Herbert averages 2.3 yards a carry. Roshan averages barely 4 yards a carry on only 5 carries. 25 fucking runs to 16 passes. And then, like, 3rd and a million. What are you going to call? Well, of course you know what you're going to call. I'm going to do it. You'll never see it coming. They're going to be caught on their heels. Going to catch them with their pants down. Wide receiver screen. Airmail throw. Punt. And then you get to Justin Fields. And this better cool off the fucking Fields Colts' ass. You know it's not going to, because there's one thing they're incredibly skilled at is freaking excuses. And boy, do they have plenty of ammo to come up with excuses for today. The offensive line was dog shit. Because it was. It was impressive seeing how Lucas Van Ness totally sunned Braxton Jones got a sack. How Later on in the game, Tevin Jenkins got completely sunned and gave up a sack. The Bears offensive line gave up 5 sacks today. They were dog shit in the running game. They were dog shit in pass protection. Like, what the fuck? And even when you look at Justin Fields, you're like, you really don't even have much of an impression for today's game. But what you should have been able to clearly see is, yeah, he makes a couple of nice throws, but he eats a couple of sacks he shouldn't have. And then you look at when Cole Kmet's wide open, Fields makes an throw that frankly probably should have been picked off because Fields doesn't keep leading Kmet. Like, it's that type of shit, right? Like, how could you watch this game and see a Jordan Love, who's not at the elite level yet, and who knows if he'll ever get there, but is clearly several levels above Justin Fields? How could you fucking watch this game, watch these two quarterbacks function, and blame everything except the fucking quarterback? At some point in time, you've got to acknowledge maybe there's a reason that Gutless Gutsy has such a chicken shit approach offensively, is because he knows that Justin Fields can execute the short passing game. He can execute on quick reads. His long release, his lack of anticipation, his lack of ability to quickly process and react to what the fuck he sees. The same problems he had at goddamn Ohio State still are here at the end of year 3. But magically, you put 6 other all-pros around him on offense and he's going to be a fucking MVP candidate next year. Fuck you off. But that's the thing, right? Like, you could hardly even say much about Fields today because what impression do you have of him? The design runs stunk. Like, one thing I'll say is this game was chippy at different points in time. And then the one time that, Jonathan Owens, Mr. Simone Biles, sits there and hits Justin Fields questionably, the Bears' offensive line is nowhere to be fucking found. No surprise. They didn't fight all day to protect him, so why the fuck would they fight to protect him there, right? Imagine thinking this is a rivalry. Could you? Jesus Christ. Justin Fields is 0-6 against the Packers. Matt Eberflus is now 0-4 against the Packers. Because, of course they are. That's Bears football! And for all these people that were getting all giggly tits about the Bears figuring it out and turning it around, they still finished fucking 7-10 in a season where 9 or 10 wins should have been the absolute lowest of standards, so they didn't even meet that. They did it against one of the weakest schedules in the fucking league. Meanwhile, the Giants, facing a tougher strength of schedule, just finished 6-11 after beating the Eagles to close out the season pretty comfortably, mind you, by the way. And they didn't have their starting quarterback for half the season, and for a stretch of time, we're starting a third-string quarterback in Tommy DeVito. The Bears were only without Justin Fields for 4 games. Justin Fields had 175 yards of total offense today. How could you sit there and take yourself seriously and say, we'll just peel back from 1 and get a haul? No. You should fire the general manager. That's asking way too much. Fire the head coach, draft a new quarterback. This is not that fucking hard. Well, I want to beat the Packers. Okay, then why the fuck would you bring back Matt Eberflus and Justin Fields when they have proven totally and completely incapable and incompetent in doing so? The best thing about the Bears right now is they got cap space and some premium draft capital, and we got an off-season to look forward to, and best of all, we don't have to be bothered with watching any damn games, regular season, preseason, or otherwise, for this piece of shit franchise for another damn 7 months or so. Everything about this is stupid. And if they run it back in 2024, it would be peak Chicago sports. And they'll overreact, win like 10 games, wild card, everybody will get extensions, and then 2 years later, everybody will be fucking regretting it and be like, well, where it went wrong? Bears football! Let's do what we do best, Bears fans. Let's look forward to the offseason.